Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. Today we're doing more truck stuff. We're getting ready for towing season, so we have a lot of stuff coming up. So make sure you smash the subscribe button, thumbs up, and notification bell. We got the 26 Ram 2500, and we got it bagged. We have a timbering video, we have a bag video. So if you want to know how to install those, my thoughts on all those, head over to the channel, check those out. Type in Ram, you'll find it. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's talk turkey. So my typical brand of hitch choice would be the actual B&W Patriot or Companion, depending on your weight and needs. So my must-haves when I'm ordering a new truck is the puck system. Why? So I have a flatbed all the rest of the time. Now people will bang on these cheap plastic caps they put in here. I don't give a crap, because guess what? They function, they work just fine. And I've had so many Rams, I've never actually banged one up. Again, I don't use the gooseneck hole anymore, but I've never had these shredded up. So buy extra caps, change them out, whatever, float your boat. So in this circumstance, guys, I scored a Curt or the Ram M20. So it's a 20,000 max tow capacity, 5,000 pound max pin weight. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $500. Dude wanted to get rid of it. He's kicking around, came in his new truck. He was never going to use it. And guess what? That's almost a G cheaper than a brand new Companion for this truck, because I sold my Hitch after I sold my 16 mega cab dually. So I'm going to run with that. I've had them all. I've had the pull right, I've had everything. But what I will tell you about the B&W is it does come apart in two pieces. It is a little bit lighter in those two pieces, but the footprint is bigger. Now, the Ram truck itself has the smallest bed in the industry, so why the footprint does matter and why this is actually a pretty good snag for me is because we lose about almost 8-9 inches over a Ford and a Chevy in the Ram bed up front. And you can see this is not all my gear. I usually have an impact gun up there, a kit, and a tool set. So the footprint on this Curt 20 or M20 Ram hitch is a little bit smaller, and I'll show you what that means. So as we're looking down at the hitch right here, guys, typically my B&Ws are squared off. They are a perfect rectangle, if you will. It's definitely shored up and everything like that. So I do appreciate this one in this respect because, one, it was a huge score, cheap, but it has this huge cutout on all of the legs, so it does give me back just a little bit of that action when we're talking about putting stuff in the bed. I don't know about you guys, gals, whatever, but when we're out camping and towing, we have wood that we're bringing when we're camping. We have all of our generators. We have all of the fuel, all of that stuff that we keep in the bed, along with all of that stuff that I always keep in there. I always keep boomer chains and everything like that. So this hitch itself came basically pre-assembled because it was already in a Ram. So if you get it new out of box, it may come in several pieces. So this is not going to be an assembly version of this because you have your thing, and it's actually pretty straightforward, guys. There's no way to really screw it up. It basically comes 90% put together in the box. You just have to put a few things together. What I will tell you about this is this hitch is beefy built. It is heavy duty. So I still love my B&Ws, but I think the build quality of this is just as good as equal. Now, again, it does require a little bit of maintenance over that, but nonetheless, the puck system is these 4 cam, is what I'm going to call them, type locks, latches, whatever you want to call them. And so the process is pretty easy. One thing I'll encourage you to do, if you buy one of these, put it together, take it, leave it in 2 different pieces so you can assemble it in the truck because it is heavy. Now, one big thing about this one and the other one is the B&W, you adjust the little tripod looking legs up. This one we're going to have to adjust up, but it's really irrelevant. I'm just going to show you real quick on how to do that. So if you don't have a hitch already in the truck and you're new to fifth wheeling, these 4 21 millimeter nut and bolts are going to need to pull out. Now you can raise it up to another 5 inches by using these 3 holes right here. So you're just going to undo these 4 and do that. This video isn't going to be specific to that because you guys can determine your pin height and your trailer height from your bed box. However, I have seen some people out there in their videos where they're out, like they're doing a review or something and they're test driving it, and that fifth wheel on that box, that trailer is only about 2 inches off the bed. You do you guys, but for me, I want 4 to 6 inches. So when I was running the Ram and the Chevy with the Patriot and the Companion, I will say that my overall bed bottom height with this piece here to the top of the kingpin is roughly about 18.5, 19 inches total. And that gives me enough to fit under the tonneau cover and still give me the height I need on my specific trailers. Now you can adjust your actual pin box on your fifth wheel, but what I will tell you is it's much easier to do it here unless you've got like 3 or 4 really strong dudes to help you undo the pin box and bring it down. But I would encourage you to make sure you have at least 4 inches or more. You want your trailer to still ride level, but you want to have at least 4 inches from the bed and the bottom of your actual bedroom area, or whatever's the underside of that upper piece of your 5th wheel trailer. So now we've talked about that stuff, let's get to the nitty gritty. So again, guys, I will be adjusting my actual height of my trailer piece here in a second. But basically, if you have this system new from the factory, you pull these caps off, save them, if you will. Now, if you notice, this hole doesn't look like it's really aligned, doesn't really matter. Those are going to get crunched down anyway. So we're going to remove all 4 of these caps. So it looked just like that. Now just get everything out of the way. Good opportunity to sweep your bed out if you got a bunch of garbage under there. Now that's just paper and some dust, so we can blow that out later. Let's get the base up in here. Whew, almost blew a gasket trying to pick this bad boy up. This is one heavy hitch. So as you can see, if you have the B&W, it's maybe recessed a smidge, but still cut off here. So we do have some extra landscape here, which is nice. So once you get in here, guys, pull your pins out on all 4 corners, lift them out. Now you're going to flip all your wings out about a 90 degree. And what's cool is basically where it stops, keeps your lower piece of your cam basically right at the perfect thing. And then 1 or 2 people, we're going to lift that in and drop that in the holes. Voila! So now we got it in here. So here is the key piece, especially if you're assembling this beast in your garage out of the box, is your handles should slide about that hard. That's it, guys. That's all you need. If they slide super easy, then you might get some lifting and chucking in that. It's not going to come loose as long as you have your pin latched in here. But at the end of the day, once you get those in, and again, this guy had these adjusted to his truck, so we may have some. See how this one flops easy? So we're going to adjust that one. All you're going to do is pull out your cotter pin here, do a half turn. This is not even a half turn, a quarter turn to get this next one, and see if it gets stiff. Okay? You don't want to be to the point where you have to beat it in with a hammer, and you don't want it floppy cock like this. Okay? So we're going to pull this one out. Now you can hook these at any level you want. See, this one's so tight, I can't get it. It's down there, it's on its base, so we're good there. So we're going to pull this one loose and actually loosen this one. This one, a little loose, so we're going to do a quarter turn on that. So we're going to get these legs adjusted real quick. Again, if you don't know how to do like these cotter pins, get a pair of pliers, squeeze them, pull it out, twist it a quarter or whatever. Don't put this back in until you have it right. Save yourself the hassle of taking it in and out and in and out. But don't worry about so much of that, of getting this pin in until you've got it to where it just slides in there nice and smooth. So we're going to get these all adjusted real quick. All right. So we got those adjusted. Now we're going to drop the top piece in here. If you have any debris in here or whatever, wipe that crap out of there. And then we're going to set it in there. Again, you don't need to grease this rubber bushing piece here. That's just a guide pin for that. You have actual greasers on the actual top part of your kingpin. One on each side down here, one here. Give it a couple blasts every 1,000 miles. They do say to check these bolts right here. 100 PSI torque every 1,000 miles. They're probably not going to come loose, but if you don't have a torque wrench, hella tight. Tight as you can get them, that's how tight you need to get 100 PSI. All right, so not much to show here. So we adjusted it so that this clears my tonneau. So I can't bring it to the top rung, but I did take it loose and adjust it here. I have a separate video on what this hitch is and we're going to grease it and adjust it. So now we're covered here. We got about a 1/2 inch clearance there. I know once my kingpin hits here, I'm going to have clearance there. So we're golden. So I will have a video later on how this actually works. So if you stumble upon that, easy breezy. You take your clips out here. They're unisex. Drop them in the holes there. Drop them in your holes here. Take your pins here. And we're going to guide these bad boys in here. Because you're wondering probably, how the hell does it fit through that hole? It doesn't. It has to go in the front. So easy breezy lemon squeezy. So we'll get that lined up. get these ready to push in and clip them in. And that, my friends, because it's hot out here, to get the shirt off, that is how you install the M20. Your pins are going to be clipped here, here, grease strips here, here, here. Every 1,000 miles, you're going to do that. You're going to just give them a little splash of grease, 2 little quick pumps with your grease gun. Again, separate video on how it works, but you know, if you are on this video, you're going to do this. Flip your thing over. You see red. It goes past here. We have a little gauge over here where it kind of shows you, where you can see it when you're on the side of the vehicle. You'll pull it out. It'll latch shut. You make sure the red lines up with your hitch, and then you're going to clip this bad boy shut with your doodad here. And that is all there is to installing the M20, M25, Curt, Ram, whatever the hell you want to call this hitch. Pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, you guys need to rewind, check that out on how you adjust those cam lobes that go into the frame. Love it. Footprint is good. I think the chucking will be minimal. Very solid built hitch. Straight aces. Got some good room. As always, guys, appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you check out. We're going to have some hella towing on this. Catch you on the next one.